Hi everyone, this is Kimberly. We're going to be doing the never-ending pick-a-pile. I'll start with crystals as usual. We'll go into some crystal cards. Then we're going to see if there's any blocks in the situations that arise, and a clarifier. Okay, let's get started. I'm going with pile 1 with crystals. This is for the current energy. You're very focused on something. You feel you're protected. You know, you're definitely between 10 and 11 o'clock. There's been a matter of the heart that's just looked at lightly, I want to say, very lightly, and then put back down. Whatever this endeavor that you're going to do, one or something that you're really focused on, it's very complicated energy, but you'll find resolution because you have clarity at 4 o'clock. So it could be springtime too if you're going into a timeline. You're trying to definitely have a lighter side to you, but also protecting yourself in a calm manner. I went to animals, something about animals. 2. Current. Well, 2, you went back on a decision. You feel it was easier to go with the flow energy. You wanted to disperse negative. You did find clarity, but something's still murky. There's something that you can't get over, so it keeps rehashing as a cycle here. Twin flame energy. Let's see 3. Now, last time 3 had a lightened energy from such existence that you really should look at the pile 3 in itself. It just says pile 3. You'll see. Pile 3. Wow. I'm glad to see you've been very busy, but it's less stressful, busy. You're almost enjoying yourself with it. Something you had to do. It was like putting, there's an order to it, but then you're very structured. There's a lot of earth and grounding in this energy. You do have some healing that's taking longer than you expected, but you're feeling a lighter energy with that. It was something left unsaid or undone, or something that wasn't, it wasn't closed that you hold heavy. Okay, let's get some crystal cards for you guys. Alright, for pile 1. Never ending pick-a-pile. Current energies. Pile 1. Got pyrite on the bottom of the deck. Let the money flow in. So maybe, I see luck with that, but I also see trying to get creative, just doing the daily grind with that. Yeah, you got a sunstone, but you got a block there. Take pleasures in the things that you do. It came upside down. You got black kyanite. Yeah, kyanite. I may say it wrong. See a strong boundary. So something maybe you lowered your defense on because you seen it. Celestite. Soothe your own soul. So this is a 9 of coins energy. And hematite. Ground yourself. That was for 1. Can I have 2 for 1? 2 for 1. Apothiolite. Stay positive. And I felt that, so I'm going to give you that. that you're trying to stay positive through a situation, but something's heavy at 7 o'clock of an unknown with this crystal that I'm seeing. You got quartz, patience, that calm feeling that you had. I like those two for you. Let's go for two. Two, can I have 3 cards for the energy that two's going through and the never-ending pickup pile, current energy. Rose quartz, open your heart. So yes, you did. And last reading, you know, where there was a bit of rigidness or a bit of expression, but I think it was warranted and it was revisited and you have a kinder look to it. Maybe you've seen something. One more for two. One more for two is energy. One more for two is energy. You got this last time too. You know, it's time for to transform something. You got Malachite energy. So you transformed the way you looked at something. And if you look at that crystal, the circles around there, you're looking, you're dispersing, you're grabbing, and you're changing in the heart chakra. One more for two. One more for two. Okay. Tiger's Eye. You overcame a fear and you let money, so there was a gift, there was equal give and take here. Pyrite. Let the money flow in, so you might have received something or is getting ready to receive something. You know, it was just, you know, the big Valentine's Day, so maybe you celebrated or got together. I see a union. But still you were guarded, almost left early. Just, I don't know what that was from. Let's go to 3. You got the Tiger's Eye there, you know. You're guarding your heart. That's for 2. This is for 3. Black Tourmaline, protect your energy. And maybe that's what you did. Because you had such a significant shift in energy last week that this week I really feel it's just changed for the better, I want to say. Black Tourmaline, why the Black Tourmaline? One more on the Black Tourmaline for 3. Can I have for 3? Yeah, Angel Aura Quartz, and you got one underneath that too. You lightened up and you released a lot of emotional baggage. 2 had that too. So is this something that you released this week for 3? So the arrow. You know, it was arrows thrown. I don't know what that is. On the bottom of the deck for 3, we got Aquamarine, going with the flow energy. I like it. Let's see if there were blocks in this at this time. For 1, blocks to their greatest good. Wow. Well, we got complicated. Like I said. So you got complicated. There's a lot to it, but you have the key at number 11. And then summoning, something you were summoning at 13. So you were looking for a spark in something. You were looking for a closure. You were looking, you know, to make it either an expansion, and I think that both parties were, whoever you were dealing with. Let's see for Tiger's Eye. Why is Tiger's Eye here in the blocks for pile 2? Never ending, pick a pile for the greatest good. Pile 2. Pile 2's energy. Hold. Meditation and beauty. So there has been growth. You know, there has been playfulness on the bottom that was withheld. You know. And maybe you were losing your confidence and remembered who you were. And spoke up, you know, so there was a sense of belonging at the time to change your mind on something for 2. Can I have another one for 2, please? 2's energy. Drop it. You know, you felt like there was a misunderstanding. You knew there was some deceit, you know what I mean? But you weren't going to let your reaction happen. So they didn't get a reaction, or you didn't react the way you normally would have in a situation. It changed something about yourself there. I like that energy for two. Standing. Yeah, you had a vision. You don't see it upside down, though. It came upside down, so I'm going to give it to you. But it's a vision that you don't see coming. Maybe you didn't see that the way you were going to switch you took it as it was complete, it was done, and then there was a reunion in it, and you didn't see that coming. Yeah, something that you weren't strong with, individually you're dealing with it, something you're going through yourself is individuality. Yeah. You didn't know what to do with it. You figured just release it, which I think it's a hard situation because last week I think it was warranted that you spoke up. So this cycle is not complete. That's okay. You knew this. You knew this. Let's go to 3. 3. Never any pick a aquamarine. Go with the flow energy for 3. Well, obedience and the high priestess of earth. Very, very grounded. And with the crystals, you have the most grounding energy. And you have a balance in between that. It was something you didn't see that you had to say. And I think that was letting go, the obedience maybe that you have on yourself. If this is an earth sign that I'm speaking to, this is your nature, so it's like, you would probably look at me like, what are you talking about? That's the way I roll, something like that you would say, like, that's me. So you don't express, like, apologies. I am what I am is what I am. I like your energy. Okay, let's look at 1. Let's look at 1. You're summoning, I think that's what you're doing. You're summoning something. Let's see what that is. For what are they summoning for the greatest good? Well, you got the Hierophant, something you're committed with. You got the Queen of Wands, and you got something that you're not willing to let walk away. Something that you're committed on working with, and you know what you're doing, and you know what you want. Yes, then the world is complete for 1. So I like your energy right there. You're definitely committed with it. You're not willing to give up on something, and you're staying strong within yourself. And I think that's what you're summoning, your courage. Your courage to get something done, and that will happen. You got the High Priestess of Fire. As I look at these cards, as I look at this, you have the High Priestess of Fire, of Spirit rather, which is all of them. Very spiritual person. Something that you're not looking at and that you feel you're not going to worry about. Yeah, that's the new beginning with you, is you're not going to worry. You're putting that worry down. There's a spark about you. And this is still for 1. A new beginning. Something that you're not going to let bring you down. Something you're not going to let bring down. What is that, please? For 1. Energy. Well, we got the Star reversed, so that might be going through the dark night of the soul. Maybe you're trying to rush through that. And healing. Sun card crossing over that. So maybe you're rushing through something, one to heal something else. You're not seeing something. What is that? Well, there's something you're thinking about. You have a message about your emotions, maybe. Maybe somebody is coming to you and you're thinking about a new beginning. You think it would heal something, but there's something you're not seeing. This is for one. Or you refuse to see. Two. What's the incomplete cycle for two? Whoa. Incomplete cycle for two. Incomplete cycle for two. Never ending pick upon. Well, you have the Queen of Cups. You might be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, that you feel is an incomplete cycle in the matter. You might be dealing, because I feel your emotions are upright. So maybe in the last week's reading, when two, or whoever this is for, had a switch and their emotions are more stable than they were in the last reading. Queen of Cups on the board. You could be very empathic. There's a serenity with you. There's a warmth. There's a kindness. There's a happiness. There's faithful. You're a healer. There's a soulmate energy that, you were waiting on a change with. There was some sneakiness around it, and there was some judgment used on both parts, says the truth. And then there was a long period of time that you were apart. And, there is love on the board here, but it's questions love. It's love that's not trusted. It's love. There's definitely a trust issue there. Yeah. And there's been a big change in that with the Death card that goes over that. Could be dealing with a Scorpio again, reared its head. We got Cancer here as well. So definitely emotions, Ace of Cups. Okay? We've got no communication while in this state, so no choice but to go inside yourself with the Queen of Cups and look at that, So you looked at something and you used your judgment in an upright position, and I think that's more than one person here. Yeah, Lovers came out again. Soulmate energy. Yeah, planting something different, having an evolution. You guys know it's going to be hard work, but you figure if it pays off to just let the negative lie, because there's been a switch here. It's peeking out here. We got the Knight of Pentacles upside down, and we've got rest. So you anticipate a rest or another separation. You already anticipate this. And that's what you're holding. They're holding. They don't really want to plant something. There's no movement there. They feel something's incomplete. Hermit arose. And then the Empress. Your energy. Two. You're the Empress energy. They have the Hermit. They have to go inside themselves. They have to find their inner light, where I think you found your inner light and you let something go in a more peaceful cycle, which only gives you good karma. And something has been revealed to you because the cycles are upside down. You had a lot of confusion, that you went through. Still two, guys? There's a confusing energy with that, It leaves you like, what? You don't know what to think. And you don't quite like that, so there was a change. I think that's where the rigidness, that's what I'm saying. Seven of Swords energy. What was revealed. Quickly, too. It's like a repeating cycle. Yeah. And you're constantly defending yourself, constantly working on it. Feeling that you're the better person to do it. But if they're not if it's just a head game, you're not going to tolerate it. Let's go to 3. Say, yes. You stood up for yourself. You're protecting yourself, You're drained of energy. That's an ongoing battle. But you're so close to success. You got such persistence, but you might be guarded and wounded warrior and courage. That's what it says. Keep moving forward. And I liked your energy last week, and I like energy for 2 this week, too. You know something was left incomplete. You thought it was easier to go with more of the flow. Let's see how that goes for you. Five of Cups energy. Sadness. I think you want to believe this person so much, that it's like, oh, yeah, I'm happy with it. You want their clarity with that, and it's not there. All right, let's go to 3. Three's energy, please, for never-ending pick-a-pile. Confidence here, the obedience, the High Priestess of Earth. Can I have energy on that for the greatest good, never-ending pick-a-pile? Well, something that you had to self-defense, protect. You were determined. You stood up for yourself. You stood up for your beliefs. You felt like there was somebody you were watching walk away. And you received justice with it. By not working on it and just going inside yourself with the Hermit card there, slowly but surely the 5 of Cups became determination. So it was something that you had to work on yourself, that you found your courage, and it was your wish to do so. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. A stagnation energy is something that you do not like. You let's keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So that type of person. Especially the High Priestess of Earth. Very grounded. New beginning, and you've got the Sun in the middle. You're worrying a little bit, maybe you're having a hard time sleeping at night, or you don't know what to begin with something, after watching something walk away, hyphen it upside down. You don't know what to begin, but you're worried about it. You have confidence in this person. You know they're going to heal, but do they have confidence in themselves? Closed case, the world. You've been working on this. There's been a lot of things that you went through with this soulmate. There was judgment misused. There was movements that weren't right. There was a lot of healing, a lot of chaos. But there was also a stagnant and a hangman mode that made both parties go inside themselves and find those answers as to why this was happening. Yeah. Putting the confusion down. So beliefs were dropped, and I think that you feel better, and the other person feels better, whoever you're dealing with. That's why the world is present. Hangman as well. Three's energy is beautiful. I mean, they're all beautiful, but I just feel the relief on 3. Can I have that? One on that, please. Their confidence is shining through with their readings. The healed energy of the Star. And we have you're waiting on something, and movement and healing. And to get past it. Yes, there it is again. When we did, yes, you want to get past the confusion. Underlining energy. Yeah. A lot of soulmates, aren't speaking their truth, but you know the truth. This could be a family dynamic too, in 3 that's coming forward. A lot of confusion there. But there's somebody that's stuck by you through thick and thin too. Judgment, right? Can I have one on that? Yeah, the Sun energy. When you weren't healing or there was a block, there's somebody there was with you. The Sun energy is still good to have, so that's a yes. Can I have one more on the Sun energy? Well, they gave 2. Lovers are upside, right side up. You know, when things weren't being juggled right, you know, maybe in the surroundings, there was someone that really stood by you. Could be an Earth sign, could be a Gemini. hmm Yeah, the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune, you know, to help you move forward, never leaving you out, you know. That would have not been their wish, and they want you to know that. Oh, that's a special message. Very close, very close. Beautiful, 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 beautiful family dynamic right here. So also moving forward for you three. All right, let's put these away, and we'll get another breakdown for you guys. This is for one. Breakdown for never ending. Pick a pile, 3 cards, please. Breakdown for one, never ending. Pick a pile. The summoning energy, number 11, number 13. Hold. Receive. I like that for you. Open up, you know. There was an equal give and take here in one. You were able to receive something. You opened up a little bit about something. Self-care, maybe for yourself. You know, law of attraction. You're manifesting what you want, putting it out there. You know, trying to really receive good energy. I want to say that. A lighter energy. Okay. Trust. To build trust. Something it's time to, you know, to take care, get ready for something. I think that's what you're doing, one. It's good energy right there. No doubts. One drop of doubt wipes it all out. Remember that. So no doubts. Let's go to 2. Wow, look at that energy. 2. Better. 2. Never ending pick a pile for the greatest good. Never ending pick a pile for the greatest good. Number 2. Pile 2. Well, we have a union. Like I knew it was happening. You know what I mean? That's not that there's been something revealed about it. It's been rehashed. There's different kinds of energies. There's interrogations with it too. Both parties. They're just deep conversations. Strength. Something is not strong in a union. Strength upside down. Something's been blocked. And that's how you feel. How do they feel? Disharmony. So I said twin flame, you know, because they could trigger the hell out of you. Yeah, wounded. But that came out upside down, the loss, you know, so I don't know whose energy that's coming to. It's like no loss to me. I don't quite like the energy. Yeah, it's toxic. It came last week and it came this week. Let's get a smaller breakdown. A twin flame. Twin flame energy. Let's go to 3. We'll get a smaller breakdown. Attracting passion, mutual feelings, feeling drawn to someone for 3. Okay? And then 3 got distance. I think that you put yourself in a timeout. You know, and then higher self activation so you feel better. I love to see that energy for you. It's a great energy to have. I mean, even look, peace. Yes, you have to go through it. We all do. But, you know, there's been an inner peace there with you. And one more on that. Higher self, the greatest good for 3. Someone's sending you love right now and just keeping you to keep in mind, you know, don't self-sabotage this. Keep going forward, you know. And there's really good memories. I'm not bringing the nostalgia in. I'm just not. Very strong relationship that you have. And you still feel that way, even if both are not together. You know, you're feeling it. You always will. And there's nothing nobody can say. And you didn't want it to go that way, you know, and you don't even know how to take an apology. Nothing was even said. You know, you'd like some truth and you would like an apology. You'd also hiddenly like a reunion too with Three. But you're keeping your vibration high, and that's what I like, and I think that's the self-care, so you're not sucked back into a reunion that wasn't faithful, that wasn't whatever it was. It was a big storm, and it happened really quick, and you found clarity about yourself. You found a reunion with a soul tie that you didn't even know you had. You have a beautiful energy here. You have something that really, you got through the storm and you found clarity. I love those flowers. It's self-worth. And the storm's over. And that was a big one to go through, and it was something you did, you know, that you didn't expect, but it pushed you on a better path. More growth for yourself. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy for Three. And there's something about a pet that always watches over you. Definitely a dog. That's clarity for Three. Let's see the twin flame energy for Two. Well, there's commitments on the board. The hyphenate's here. There's a lesson there in this union. Came sideways. He's getting it. Let's see one more on that. In this union, Two of Cups. Trust, divine time. For one, trust, divine time. The Sun. I love the energies in these readings. They look good this week. Keep moving forward. You know, you'll find clarity. There's a situation here where how committed are you going to be to this? Is it worth being committed to? Something in Two, you know. Number one, you know, your self-care, you trust that you have it, you trust yourself, you know, you're ready to receive, you're ready to manifest, you're ready to move forward. I really like One's energy. I like Threes. I like Twos too because you're learning something. Let's see what the underlying energy is. Yeah, some confusion. Trapped feelings, burdens being lifted, patience being gained, judgment being earned. Emotions being dealt with and smoothed out. Messages about yourself, and you're always protected with temperance. Just have patience. Don't try to control the situation. Go with a more of the flow energy, which is in the collective around you. So I like that energy. All right, guys, go with the flow. See you soon.